Okay, but many will be looking to see your strategy because that will determine what they do with threat force or the alternative moving forward. Yeah. But you know, something that it comes across is though some of these political parties are able to stand the test of time because funding is key. In case of the one that's been in government, in fact, both of them have been in government, either the federal or state level. So because they've been there, they have access to certain funds which will keep the party going.
That's right.
So funding is key. How will this group get funded?
Funding definitely is the vacuum. And I've always spoken, I as an individual, that are we going to join them because they're beating us at this? Because some of the things we're standing against is for people to actually spend so much, and then the first time they're in government is to replenish what has been spent. So, you know, we're going to go and talk, how do we stop this? Definitely we need some funding, which individuals will bring in, but we don't want that, the elections that will cost billions. I think that's something we need to break, that's something we need to talk about, and that's something we need to work out. This money politics, yeah?
How do you intend to do that, given that money will always be an issue?
Well, if we continue the way we are continuing, you know, things will go haywire. Definitely. You are going to get the wrong people in government. Like I said, I think I was writing somewhere, you are going to get the carpetbaggers in government, people who do not really merit that position. So what we are going to do, and I hope the people are ready, is really go down and explain to the people, you know, that this is not about money. Apparently, in some areas, money failed when the individuals were really at their faces and they knew that this is somebody that wanted to do better by them. So this is something, it's a lot of work, but it's something that we need to do.
How do you currently get your funding? How are you funded?
Initially, it was individuals bringing the money and people, you know, from within the party. And we had a system whereby, I don't know if I'm supposed to be saying that to everybody.
Okay, well, don't want to leave that part out and save the third force from extinction.
It's like telling your secrets there.
Okay, let's leave the secret away.
Okay, but then, concerning the third force, how does one identify with you?
We're there, we're in the open. There's so many platforms on the media whereby you can join us. I'm sticking my face out, and I know that some people, even from the last program, people have called me, how do we join? And I've showed them how to join. We're very there in the public. It's not
I mean, for instance, if I want to join the PDP or the APC, I'll just go to my ward and get the card.
Right.
I'll get the card, and then I'll fill in the details, and my name gets entered into a register with my passport attached to it, and then I have the card, and I'm a card carrying member. Is that the way it works for you?
Well, yes, we're very open. For example, our DG, Mr. Okuni, how did I join? I actually met Mr. Okuni somewhere, put me on the media, I read what they were about, and I joined. It's not so complicated to join because, you know, we are everyday people that you meet, and we put out our numbers on media, and people join automatically.
You said the other time that the core of the people in this third force are intellectuals. The people you want to talk to really don't understand all the, what do you call it, Dogon Turinchi?
That's in Hausa parlance.
Okay. Right.
You know, so
that's
how do you...
talk.
Communication is the thing that the people understand. How do you communicate your message to them in a way that they are ready to buy it? Because other parties probably have some other things that speak for them. How do you communicate in a way that the people will be willing to stick their necks out?
Yes, the movement started with the intellectuals, but we are recruiting also the locals. For example, we were in Ogun State in the past few weeks, and we were reaching out. Some of them know who we are. We're talking about them, you know, in Yoruba, you talk your language, you talk to the layman. Are you satisfied with things? If you are not satisfied, there are alternatives. What will we be doing? Your children must have this opportunity. You must think of the future. You try and sell their future, what they expect. Because you see, at the end of the day, people are voting because they brought them rice, they brought them sugar. They're not thinking future. So you have to get down to brass tacks. You have to talk to them at their level and explain while you're on ground. You're not on ground for your ego, you're on ground for the people, so that they will have an alternative and a future to look at.
You're a woman, sorry, you're a woman, and about 47% of voters in the last election are women. But in the limelight, so to speak, far less a number of women are in the eye of the storm, so to speak. How do you communicate that as well? Because, I mean, if just 50% of the women in the voting population were to come out and support you, most certainly will be going somewhere.
That's right. Also, you said limelight, because at the local level, as I've seen, the yellow-jars, the people, they're right there. They're right there, and all we need is to encourage them all the more. And when they see a woman, like you said, women are likely to follow a woman, especially when you're selling certain things from a woman's perspective. It's a lot of work. We have to encourage more women to pull them down. And the first step to encourage a woman is to show them a woman at, my level. And so, yes, it's going to work. And yes, we need to encourage more women. And yes, it certainly will be useful to get that pull of more of the women forward.
You've said that you hope the people are ready. You've repeated that a number of times. So I'm trying to understand, what do you mean when you keep saying you hope the people are ready? Is it that you third force want the people to see things from their own way, or that you're not ready to do the same thing that other political parties do?
No, I think there's an outcry. I was talking about the apathy. Even on watching the media, there was in so many areas low turnout. That means the people are ready. They're looking at this and they're saying, this is not going to work for me, so I'm not going to come out. So what you need to talk more to these people. Why are you indifferent? Why are you not coming out? I know the people are ready. But what we need is to work more, because we have not presented something that is vehement enough for them to come out. And that's what we're trying to work at and bring them out.
When we talk about counting the cost, it's that when you say that a lot of the people on third force are intellectuals, we know intellectuals are not willing to do certain things because they may say, no, but we don't think we should be able to do this kind of thing, or we should be seen doing these kind of things. To be in politics, you have to play dirty. Will they be willing to do that?
Can you break down and say dirty? Can you break it down?
It means that there are certain things that politicians do to win elections in terms of reaching out and carrying out their modus operandi. Do you think third force will be willing to go the whole hog if by the time you know what they do, will they be willing to do that?
Definitely.
That's like asking, will they be willing to do whatever it takes?
All right. Definitely we're in it to make a difference. We're not going to play dirty politics, but don't presume. We're going to really reach out to the people, but definitely not play dirty.
How are you going to deal with the issue of vote buying?
First of all, I really don't understand that, because it's not something I...
It's very easy. Let me help you to understand that.
not that you've done it before. As journalists, we see what happens.
During the Osun State elections, for instance, when we saw in the Ekiti State elections, where people were spending 5,000 naira to induce voters, vote for my candidate and you get this money paid. INEC has come up with a strategy saying that you cannot walk into the booth with a phone, which was one of the means that they used to take a picture of who they voted for, which party they voted for, and submit it to get in exchange for cash.
Right. So what we're going to be doing, of course, right now is agitate for such things to stop. Some people are not supposed to appear at the scene of, where people are voting and bringing money. Like you said, they've stopped the phone system. And it's something, yes, I've been thinking about. How do we go around making these things really illegal and checking on it? Because we're not going to join them in vote buying. Definitely not. That's not the Nigeria I envisage or I've been praying for anyway.
What about those who say that, that kind of situation is tricky because some argue that, okay, well, if I do that and get into office, I'll be in a better position to bring in policies to make sure that stops. As opposed to, if I see what's going on, I can't get into office, I may never be able to make the kind of change I want because I'm not in power.
Yeah, that will be answered only if it was a first-time thing. It's something that obviously that has built it up to this point. So, you know, we have to stop it. We're not going to wait for that person to decide. Who's to say, because what I said is that when they spend so much, the first thing they're going to do is replenish, give back, take back the money. And that's why we're not getting the best out of these people. So, you know, nobody's going to wait for that person to go in and decide. We need to stop it now, and we need to start agitating for reforms in the voting behavior of Nigerians.
Okay, that's how far we can go. Funke Awolowo is the Director of Special Duties for Alliance for Defense of Democracy for the Third Force. Thank you for coming on this morning. I wish you all the best. Well, that's the show as well today. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm Chamberlain Uso.
I'm Gemba Umar.
And I'm Ayo Makide.
Thank you. I'm Maupe Ogun Yusuf.